So let's talk a little bit about an interesting topic, Vas, which is what we're calling divers living in fear.
Okay.
And how that,
Yeah, so I think this comes from people worrying that when something happens to their equipment, it's going to have a very big impact on them. And yeah, of course, I think it's a sliding scale. You have some things that aren't such a big deal. A lamp failing, well, my teammate's already got his lamp on. I turn my backup on, nothing really bad is happening, fine, I turn around, but it's not a worry.
Yeah.
Mask strap breaking, yeah, okay. Salt water in the eye, okay, big deal. But then, of course, when we talk about the most essential thing to sustain your life, it's your gas.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some bubbles coming from somewhere. There is this immediate thing that I see a lot of the time where people are very excited about having to have some real panic mode response because there's gas coming out of something that shouldn't. And one thing that I see a lot of the time is people maybe not understanding enough about the types of failure and the responses to it. And it's a little bit of a story arc, and it starts really with me asking a diver, I think it was last year, about why they're doing the shutdown drill. We were talking about just general gas management strategies, and I was going to lead on to isolation and term pressures. And when I asked a question about why they did the drill, the response was, well, to do well in the course, to pass the course.
Right.
And I felt that they hadn't fully understood, when they would apply that skill, why they would use it. And crucially, is that something that would happen that would then put you in a good situation, a bad situation? How much time have you truly got? And, you know from when we've been working together, we're quite often asking students now, if you had a failure of a second stage regulator, what does that mean? How much time do you think you've got before you lose the gas in that cylinder?
Sure.
Now, what if it's a failure in the SPG? And just trying to probe a little bit about the understanding of the equipment that people are reliant on, for their safety, for their enjoyment. But at the same time, I want to put kind of an idea behind the size of the failure. When something is very, very serious, I need to respond fast, I need to respond appropriately. When something is not so serious, I don't have to have, such a huge reaction to it. It doesn't need to cause me that same level of stress. So one of the things that was kind of interesting was just to really sort of drill into what should you do? How much time do you actually have?